The island of Harmony. Once upon a time, in a distant corner of the ocean, there was a magical island called Zinduka. This island was unlike any other, for it was home to a kind-hearted man named Lumba and 200 extraordinary women from various tribes across Africa. Each woman had her own unique talents, stories, and dreams, making the island a vibrant tapestry of culture and friendship. Lumba had a vision to create a sanctuary where everyone could live in peace, share their knowledge, and grow together. The island thrived under his care, radiating warmth and harmony to all who set foot on its shores. The arrival of Lumba. To make his dream a reality, Lumba needed help. He decided to invite women from different tribes to join him on the island. He believed that it would be the strength of the women, with their varied skills and talents, that would ensure the success of their community. He traveled to neighboring villages, sharing his vision with anyone who would listen. Many women were drawn to his kind heart and passion. Some were healers, others were skilled artisans, storytellers, and farmers. They all shared a common goal: to build a sanctuary where they could support one another and live in peace. Eventually, 200 women answered Lumba's call and journeyed to the island of Zinduka. The gathering of women. To make his dream a reality, Lumba needed help. He decided to invite women from different tribes to join him on the island. He believed that it would be the strength of the women, with their varied skills and talents, that would ensure the success of their community. He traveled to neighboring villages, sharing his vision with anyone who would listen. Many women were drawn to his kind heart and passion. Some were healers, others were skilled artisans, storytellers, and farmers. They all shared a common goal: to build a sanctuary where they could support one another and live in peace. Eventually, 200 women answered Lumba's call and journeyed to the island of Zinduka, establishing the community. As the women settled on the island, they found that Lumba was not only a leader but a true friend. He helped them build homes using natural materials and taught them how to cultivate the land. Each woman contributed her unique skills, and together they transformed the idyllic landscape into a flourishing community. In the heart of the island, they built a gathering place called the Karamu, which means a feast in many African languages. This would serve as the center for meetings, meals, and celebrations. At every full moon, the women would gather in the Karamu to share stories, songs, and laughter. Lumba would often lead them in these gatherings, reminding them of the importance of unity and mutual support. Challenges and lessons. As with any community, challenges arose. One day, a fierce storm struck the island. Winds howled and rain lashed against their homes. Lumba gathered the women in the Karamu and encouraged them to work together to protect their sanctuary. They grabbed ropes, barrels, and tools, working side by side to secure their homes and crops. The storm raged for hours, but through their collective strength and determination, they managed to weather the tempest. When the storm finally passed, they emerged to find that the island, though battered, still stood strong. The women learned valuable lessons about resilience, reminding them that every challenge could be overcome if they united their efforts. The gift of wisdom. As time flowed on, word of Lumba and the island of Zinduka spread throughout the region. Travelers and traders began to visit, curious about the extraordinary community. Lumba welcomed each visitor, inviting them to share their stories and wisdom. The women listened intently, soaking up knowledge that enriched their lives. One day, a wise elderly woman named Maisha visited the island. She carried with her a bag filled with herbs and remedies from her homeland. She was struck by the harmony of the community and decided to share her wisdom with the women. Maisha taught them about healing, the importance of taking care of the earth, and the power of traditional medicine. Under her guidance, the women began to cultivate medicinal herbs, creating their own remedies and tonics. They soon discovered that this not only helped maintain their health but also brought many travelers to their island seeking medical assistance. The community thrived, and Lumba recognized that their bond with nature was crucial to their success. The celebration of harvest. After a year of hard work, the island was bursting with life. The fields were full of crops, and the gardens flourished with colorful flowers and herbs. To celebrate their achievements, Lumba organized a grand harvest festival. The Karamu was adorned with vibrant fabrics and decorations handmade by the women. The island was alive with the sounds of laughter, music, and dance. On the day of the festival, they invited everyone from the nearby villages. The women prepared an array of dishes, showcasing their culinary skills. Each woman brought something special to share, honoring their individual traditions. The Karamu was filled with the enticing aroma of diverse cuisines, and as people gathered to feast, a spirit of joy enveloped the island. During the celebration, Lumba stood before the crowd, his heart full of gratitude. "This island is a testament to the power of unity and love," he said. "Each of you plays an invaluable role in our community. Together, we can overcome any obstacles and create a bright future." The festival was a tremendous success, and friendships blossomed among the islanders and visitors alike. Lumba understood that this bond would continue to strengthen their community and bring lasting peace. The importance of dreaming. As the years passed, the island experienced remarkable transformations. However, Lumba never forgot the importance of dreaming and inspiring others to pursue their aspirations. He encouraged each woman to discover her true passions and to share them with the community. One woman, named Amina, had always dreamed of becoming a storyteller. Inspired by the tales she had while growing up, she longed to weave the threads of her culture into beautifully crafted narratives. With Lumba's encouragement, Amina began to gather the children of the island every evening by the Karamu to share her stories. Her captivating tales transported them to different worlds, teaching valuable lessons about courage, kindness, and the beauty of diversity. Amina's storytelling sessions became a beloved tradition on the island, reminding everyone that dreams could be realized through perseverance and love. The children were inspired to dream big and embrace their own unique gifts. A call to adventure. One fateful day, the group of travelers arrived at the island, bearing news that would shift the course of their lives. They spoke of a neighboring island facing dire challenges. A drought had struck, and the community was struggling to survive. The women listened intently, their hearts heavy for those in need. Lumba, moved by the plight of the neighboring community, gathered the women to discuss how they could help. "We are blessed with abundance," he said. "It is our duty to share our resources and knowledge with those who are struggling. Together, we can bring hope and life back to their land." The women nodded in agreement, feeling a deep sense of responsibility for their fellow human beings. Under Lumba's leadership, they began to prepare for a journey to the neighboring island, armed with food, seeds, and tools, as well as the knowledge they had gained about sustainable farming and water conservation. The journey to the drought-stricken island. With hearts full of compassion and determination, Lumba and the women set sail on a beautiful, clear morning. The ocean shimmered under the sun as they navigated the waves, their small boat carrying not just supplies, but also the spirit of hope. Along the way, they sang songs of gratitude and strength, their voices echoing across the water. Upon reaching the neighboring island of Koriba, they were welcomed by weary villagers whose faces were etched with worry. The women quickly set to work, devaluating the land and discussing ways to rejuvenate their crops. Lumba spoke to the village elders, conveying their offer of assistance and plans to share agricultural techniques that would help sustain their community. Sharing wisdom and resources. Over the following weeks, the women of Zinduka and the villagers of Koriba worked side by side. The Zindukan women taught the villagers about crop rotation, planting techniques, and the importance of nurturing the soil. They introduced planting methods that conserved water, and soon, the barren land began to show signs of life. Seeds sprouted, blossoms emerged, and hope blossomed alongside them. One particular afternoon, Amina gathered the children of Koriba to share stories of resilience and nature, just as she had done on her home island. As she captivated them with tales of bravery in the face of adversity, the children felt a renewed sense of possibility. They realized that even in difficult times, they had the strength to overcome challenges. As the crops grew, so did the bond between the two communities. Shared meals were prepared, and laughter filled the air. The Zindukan women taught the villagers how to make traditional dishes, while the Koriba villagers shared songs, dances, and customs from their own culture, enriching everyone's experience. The Festival of Renewal. After months of hard labor, the day finally arrived at the harvest festival for both islands. The villagers of Koriba had rallied around the efforts of their newfound friends, and together they organized a grand celebration to honor the fruits of their labor. Brightly colored fabrics adorned the gathering spot, and the air was filled with excitement. On the day of the festival, community members from both islands arrived with baskets filled with food and gifts. They shared dishes and stories, fostering a spirit of unity that transcended borders. As laughter and music echoed through the air, it felt as if the island was imbued with magic. Lumba stood at the center of the festivities, beaming with pride. Let this day remind us that when we join hands and hearts, we can overcome any challenge, he declared. Today, we celebrate not just our harvest, but the friendships we have forged and the dreams we have shared. Amina took her turn as a storyteller, captivating the audience with tales of the heroes and heroines who had once faced great trials, courageously overcoming them with the support of their communities. The youth listened with wide eyes, inspired by stories that echoed their own struggles and triumphs. In that vibrant moment, the two islands became one in spirit, celebrating the power of collaboration and empathy. A new beginning. As the festivities came to an end, the time had come for the women of Zinduka to return home. The villagers of Koriba thanked them for their invaluable support and newfound friendship, vowing to keep the lessons learned in their hearts. Lumba felt fulfilled, knowing they had made a tangible difference. Back on Zinduka, the women shared stories of the Koriba experience. Their hearts were filled with joy and a sense of purpose. Inspired by their journey, they decided to set up a program where they could continue to assist other communities facing challenges. They began to dream about raising awareness of environmental preservation and building stronger connections with neighboring islands. The ripple effect. As the sun set over Zinduka, the women gathered once more in the Karamu. Here, they brainstormed ideas for their outreach program, each woman contributing her thoughts. Lumba encouraged them to think big. What if they could create a network of communities united by compassion and knowledge sharing? The conversations grew animated as they discussed organizing workshops, storytelling events, and cultural exchanges. The drift of their dreams ignited a profound sense of purpose among them. From that moment on, the women of Zinduka became known as the guardians of harmony. With Lumba's steadfast encouragement, they reached out to more communities, sharing their knowledge of farming, healing, and sustainability. Each interaction sparked change, creating ripples of hope that spread across the region. The challenge of negativity. However, as their influence grew, so did challenges. Not everyone embraced the idea of collaboration. Some neighboring islands were reluctant to accept help from outsiders, clinging to old beliefs and fears of losing their cultural identities. Rumors and negativity began to circulate, threatening to undermine the progress made by the guardians of harmony. Lumba recognized that they needed to address these concerns directly. He called a meeting at the Karamu with the women to strategize. "We must remember that fear often arises from misunderstanding," he said. "Let us use our voices to spread awareness and foster trust. We must engage with these communities and show them that we come in peace." Determined to break down barriers, the women organized community discussions, inviting leaders and families from neighboring islands to share meals and stories. They held open dialogues, addressing concerns and celebrating the beauty of diversity. Slowly, their patient efforts began to bear fruit, hearts softened, walls crumbled, and paths to collaboration emerged. The Festival of Unity. To solidify their newfound relationships, the Guardians of Harmony proposed hosting an annual Festival of Unity. The festival would serve as a celebration of culture, an exchange of knowledge, and a reminder of the strength found in diversity. Communities would come together to share their rich traditions, cuisines, and stories. When the day finally arrived, the island of Zinduka transformed into a vibrant tapestry of colors, sounds, and aromas. The Karamu and surrounding areas were adorned with decorations, and people poured onto the island from every corner, bringing their unique gifts and talents. Traditional dances, songs, and artistry filled the air. Lumba welcomed everyone, remarking on the importance of unity. We are not defined by our differences but by the strength we cultivate through understanding and collaboration. Today, let us celebrate the beautiful tapestry of our cultures. As the festival unfolded, laughter erupted from all sides, generations came together, and friendships were forged, each conversation building empathy and trust. A legacy of love. In the years to follow, Zinduka became a beacon of hope. The guardians of harmony continued to nurture relationships with neighboring communities, sharing knowledge and celebrating each culture's unique contributions. Farmers thrived, artisans flourished, and a profound respect for the environment emerged. Lumba, now regarded not just as a leader but as a guardian of love and wisdom, reflected on how far they had come. The island was no longer just a sanctuary for 200 women, it had blossomed into a vibrant hub of collaboration, healing, and cultural exchange, impacting countless lives. Each woman had embraced her role as a custodian of knowledge, passing on their skills and traditions to future generations. As the years turned into a decade, the island of Zinduka held a special place in the hearts of everyone who lived there and those who visited. The annual Festival of Unity had become legendary, drawing people from across the seas who wanted to witness the magic of community and harmony. A call from the ancestors. One day, while preparing for the upcoming festival, Lumba found himself wandering along the shores of Zinduka, lost in thought. The tides whispered secrets, and a gentle breeze carried the warmth of memories. He felt a deep connection to his ancestors, who had taught him the importance of compassion and togetherness. Suddenly, he stumbled upon a weathered stone standing proudly on the shoreline. Lumba recognized it as an ancient marker, said to be a place of reflection for leaders and visionaries. Inspired, he knelt by the stone and closed his eyes, inviting the wisdom of the past to guide him. In that moment of stillness, Lumba envisioned a future where the lessons of Zinduka would echo beyond the island, impacting lives far and wide. He saw children learning, families thriving, and communities coming together to nurture the earth. He knew it was essential to pass on the stories of the island, to ensure the legacy of their shared journey remained alive. The keeper of stories. Motivated by this vision, Lumba sought out Amina and shared his insights. What if we create a storytelling project, with the goal of preserving our history, culture, and experiences? Stories are powerful. They carry lessons from generation to generation. Amina's eyes lit up, her passion for storytelling ignited. We could gather stories from everyone, men, women, children, and elders. Each person has a unique perspective, a piece of our collective tapestry. Excited by the idea, they began organizing storytelling circles. They would gather in the evenings by the Karamu, where firelight danced and shadows flickered across the walls. Children giggled as they nestled close to their mothers, eager to hear tales of bravery, love, and resilience. Those evenings transformed into a beautiful tradition where the laughter and tears of shared experiences echoed long into the night. Lumba and Amina encouraged storytellers of all ages to share, prompting them to find their voices and reclaim their narratives. The power of sharing. As the storytelling project flourished, the stories they collected revealed a rich tapestry of life. Tales of ancestors, dreams, and challenges became the threads that wove their community closer together. They also discovered stories of women who, despite facing adversity, had found strength in one another. One evening, Marambi, an elderly woman from a neighboring village, spoke of her past. In my youth, I walked miles to fetch water for my family. I faced many worn paths and aching burdens, but I found unity among the other women who would join me along the way. We shared laughter and songs that made every journey lighter. As Marambi's voice filled the air, tears glistened in the eyes of many. Her story resonated deeply, showcasing that the struggles of one generation could inspire another. The shared wisdom helped bridge gaps between cultures, further solidifying their united purpose. The Festival of Unity reimagined. With the storytelling project gathering momentum, Lumba decided it was time to incorporate these narratives into the upcoming Festival of Unity. Together, they would present both the stories and the storytellers, highlighting the richness of their combined experiences. The preparations for the festival were filled with excitement as they included performances showcasing the tales through dance, music, and visual art. Each story would be a testament to the power of connection and the legacy of love that Zinduka aimed to spread. As the festival day approached, vibrant banners were hung, stages were built, and the island hummed with enthusiasm. A sense of anticipation filled the air as people from nearby villages prepared to share their own stories and learn from theirs. Finally, the day of the Festival of Unity arrived, embracing the island in joyous celebration. People from all walks of life gathered on the shores of Zinduka, bringing food, instruments, and stories from their own cultures. The celebration. The festivities began with music flowing through the air, bringing everyone together. Lumba stood at the helm, welcoming the crowd. Today, we celebrate our stories, our struggles, and our unity. May this festival remind us of the strength we find in collaboration, facing the future hand in hand. As the sun began to set, the storytelling began. Amina led the segment, inviting storytellers from each community to share their narratives. The Karamu teemed with laughter and admiration as incredible tales unfolded. Each storyteller brought something special to the stage. One woman spoke of a wise elder who taught her the secrets of the forest, while another shared how the ocean whispered its wisdom into her soul. A child, filled with innocence, recounted the adventures of a trickster who taught them lessons about life through playful antics. As the stories echoed across the island, they created a patchwork of experiences that resonated within every listener's heart. The past intertwined with the present, and the essence of each tale united the crowd in gratitude and joy. Lessons of resilience. Amidst the celebrations, a young girl named Zoe approached Lumba, her eyes sparkling with determination. "I want to share my story too," she exclaimed, her voice ringing with confidence. "Of course, Zoe. Come forward." Lumba encouraged, prompting the crowd to turn their attention towards her. Zoe stepped onto the stage, her hands trembling slightly. "I may be young, but I have learned that even small voices matter. I saw how the women of Zinduka planted seeds, and I wanted to help. I may not be strong, but I grew flowers with every wish I made." Her sweet voice carried over the crowd, capturing their hearts with her passion and innocence. "When I share my dreams, I plant flowers in my heart, knowing that together, we can make them grow. If we care for each other like the flowers, they will bloom. If we support each other, nothing can stop us from reaching our dreams." As Zoe finished her tale, the crowd erupted with cheers and applause. Her words resonated, reminding everyone, regardless of age, that each person possesses unique contributions and the power to spark change. The aftermath of the festival. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars twinkled above, Lumba looked around the festival grounds. The laughter and joy of shared stories lingered in the air, illuminating the spirit of camaraderie that had developed between the islands. The impact of the Festival of Unity rippled through the surrounding communities, touching hearts far beyond what Lumba and the women of Zinduka had ever imagined. People returned home inspired, bringing with them newfound ideas of collaboration, empathy, and trust. Embracing change. In the following years, the storytelling project continued to flourish, spreading far and wide. Communities began hosting their own storytelling festivals, drawing from the wisdom and inspiration that had blossomed on Zinduka. The ripple effect of this sharing of stories fostered stronger connections, collaborations, and mutual respect among diverse communities. Schools integrated storytelling into their curriculums, and elders found renewed purpose as they passed down their traditions and insights. Lumba watched with pride as the seed they had planted on Zinduka grew into a powerful movement that transcended borders and cultures. People realized that stories were not just entertainment, they were powerful tools for understanding, harmony, and healing. A new threat. However, peace is often challenged by unforeseen circumstances. One fateful summer, news of a looming drought reached Zinduka. The surrounding islands fell prey to parched lands, and resources began to dwindle. Power struggles among communities emerged as fear took hold, igniting tension between longtime allies. The women of Zinduka felt the weight of responsibility heavier than ever. They had experienced the strength of unity, but now they faced the challenge of keeping that spirit alive amid growing despair. Lumba gathered the women and community leaders to devise a plan. "We must work together to combat fear and hopelessness," he said passionately. "Our collaboration can be a beacon of hope in these dark times. Let us seek innovative ways to support one another." Amina, drawing from her storytelling traditions, suggested organizing a series of workshops focused on sustainable practices that could help them adapt to the changing climate. "We have knowledge to share, let us show everyone that even in adversity, we can thrive," she declared. Workshops in wisdom. The women quickly mobilized and began hosting workshops across the affected islands. They shared techniques on water conservation, drought-resistant crops, and ways to maintain soil health, ensuring that towns could harness their resources sustainably. Lumba traveled to neighboring communities, delivering heartfelt speeches filled with reassurance. He encouraged everyone to come together, reminding them of their shared experiences during the Festival of Unity. "We have faced challenges before, but together, we can transform our fears into strength," he urged. As the workshops unfolded, communities began to witness the power of collaboration once again. Friendship and solidarity blossomed amidst dire circumstances. Villagers learned from one another, sharing wisdom that united them even amidst scarce resources. Seeds of hope. While these initiatives were underway, young Zoe became an ambassador for resilience. She took inspiration from Lumba's teachings and the stories she had heard. Determined to create change within her age group, she gathered her friends and implemented a project called Seeds of Hope. Zoe and her friends led workshops for youth, teaching them about the importance of sustainability and how they could contribute to the island's future. Armed with creativity, they initiated community gardens, which encouraged active participation from children across various neighborhoods. Each participant received a seedling to nurture, symbolizing the commitment to the environment and the shared future of the islands. Every garden became a laughter-filled haven, alive with youthful energy. The children planted their seeds while sharing stories of their hopes and dreams, just as they had seen the women do during the festivals. In this way, Zoe's initiative empowered her generation to take pride in their role as stewards of the land, preparing them to face the challenges ahead. The turning point. Months later, as the drought wore on, the people continued to adapt and work in solidarity. The resilience they had cultivated through storytelling and collaboration became evident. Men, women, and children united to implement conservation strategies, building rainwater catchment systems, and organizing efforts to boycott excessive resource usage. Through these shared practices, communities saved water and improved crop yields despite the climate challenges. Farmers began to see success through their hard work, and hope began to blossom again. As the seasons changed, the first rains returned to the islands, nourishing the soil. The vibrancy of life returned as crops surged forth, and the gardens blossomed. Lumba celebrated this miraculous turn of events with a gathering that echoed the spirit of the Festival of Unity, but now carried an additional theme: resilience. The Resilience Festival. With the rain came the announcement of the first-ever Resilience Festival, created to honor the hard work and dedication of every individual who had played a role in overcoming adversity. The festival would celebrate not only survival but the strength found in community, cooperation, and the stories that carried them through. Amina helped organize the event, inviting every community member to contribute. The Karamu served as the heart of the festivities once more, filled with laughter, music, and the vibrancy of life. Villagers brought maps and designs of their gardens, while children showcased the fruits of their labor, proudly presenting their seedlings turned into flourishing plants. Instead of focusing solely on entertainment, this festival highlighted lessons learned, testimonials of unity, and showcases of adaptive resilience. Each workshop and demonstration stood as a testament to the collaboration that had come from adversity. As the sun began to set on the Resilience Festival, Lumba stood before the crowd once more. Today we gather to celebrate not just the rains but our collective spirit, forged through stories and solidarity. Our journey reminds us that hope can emerge even in the most challenging times, and together, we can transform the seeds of adversity into a garden of promise. The legacy continues. As the festival came to an end and the stars twinkled above, communities reflected on the journey that brought them together. Zinduka had become a symbol of hope and resilience, emanating influence far beyond its shores. With each passing year, the Festival of Unity and the Resilience Festival intertwined, celebrating the enduring legacy of love, community, and the strength drawn from shared stories. The seeds of hope planted by Zai and the guardians of harmony continue to flourish, creating a nurturing environment for generations to come. A new era. Years later, Zinduka bore witnesses to young dreamers inspired by the legacy bequeathed to them. Children who once listened to the stories of the past now became great storytellers themselves, teaching the next generation about compassion and collaboration. One evening, while gathered at the Karamu, Lumba reflected on how much had changed. The island had become a flourishing tapestry woven together by the threads of their histories, struggles, and triumphs. He felt a sense of purpose fulfilled as he watched the next generation step forward, eager to forge their own path. Conclusion: the ever after. As Lumba grew older, he imparted one final lesson to those who gathered under the starlit sky. Remember, our stories are not ours alone. They belong to generations past and to those yet to come. Share them freely, for in every word lies the power to inspire, heal, and unite. The ocean waves kiss the shores, cradling the island in an embrace of serenity. Zinduka had become more than just an island. It was a living, breathing embodiment of love, resilience, and the unbreakable bond forged through shared experiences. And so, the story continued, echoing across the tides, down through time, ensuring that the legacy of Lumba and the women of Zinduka remained a guiding light illuminating paths of hope, understanding, and community collaboration for all who sailed their way.